The world is fast. It is nonstop. There's always something to do, and it can really run away with us. But instead of just looking at, okay, what is going on in the world right now, for me, more specifically, right, zoom in a little bit on your life, not necessarily the world at large, but your world. And of course, there's a lot of demands, there's a lot of obligations, and those are all the reasons why we're moving so fast. But is it the only reason we're moving so fast? Is it possible that what's actually rooted in us is that if we're not moving, then we're being lazy or we're not being productive, or it's not allowed, maybe even is a thought or a belief that you may have. And it's a really interesting thing when we start to examine or explore our own lives, that what we think turns into what we believe, and what we believe turns into how we act, right? So our thoughts are so vitally important. But then understanding, or catching those thoughts, right? I've talked about 2 Corinthians 10:5, take all thoughts captive and make them obedient to Christ, right? Once we know, or we start to observe what those thoughts are, what beliefs are deep down, and I bet you'll discover that the reason you're moving at lightning pace and feeling so exhausted and overwhelmed, um, it probably has something to do with a belief set that started much earlier in your life than right now. So slow down. The anecdote is to just breathe, right? Notice the hurry. Notice when someone asks you how you're doing, if you say, oh, tired, so busy, right? Instead, endeavor not to be so busy, but endeavor to aim for tempered, for, yeah, full day, but balanced, right? But we only get there, we only actually start to endeavor to slow down, one, when we get curious and explore and understand what the belief set is, and two, when we see that for what it is, invite God into it to help us, and we invite Him so well when we breathe, when we slow down just enough and go, because Romans 8:26 says, in the moment that we get tired in the waiting, the Holy Spirit comes alongside us and helps us by making prayers out of our aching sighs and groans. So sigh, groan, breathe, and let your life start to be transformed.